So, Kris, there's been some good things that have happened on this trip, even though maybe you didn't get the results you were looking for in the game against Buffalo and the game against New Jersey. You did get the result against the Islanders. Do you think this is something, do you sense that your team's building to play in a better game since maybe from where you're at a couple of weeks ago?
I think we were at a low point right after the break, those 3 games after. I think we were starting to turn around. That game against Florida, we lost it, but I thought there was a lot of good things where we played more of what we needed. Since that point, I think we've been building, getting better play. I think we could have had a couple more wins during that time, but it is what it is. Sometimes you don't win games that you should, and vice versa. But yeah, there's a lot to be optimistic about, but we know we still need to get better, and we can't be content of where we are right now.
Calvin Pickard gave you a real good start the other night based on today's morning skate. It appears as though Stuart Skinner's going to start. Just a thought on maybe, you know, I mean, when a guy's got a record at 16-7, it's still 16-7. You can't ask for much more out of what you got from Pickard this year.
No, for a backup goalie and, you know, his role, what he is, it's, yeah, it's tough. It's tough not to give him more starts. The record is... It speaks volumes. It's very important, but we feel that you know, Stu with the rest, that's a better position to put him in. That he's our starting goalie tonight.
A lot of focus on Connor and Leon's point streaks, but Evan Bouchard's now up to 7 games. Sometimes there seems to be a focus on what maybe Evan doesn't do instead of what he does do. Just a thought on guy who leads your team in time on ice.
You know, every player never plays a perfect game. You look at even, you know, Leon, Connor, and as good as they are, they still make mistakes. And Evan's the same. All our players are the same. You know, we try to eliminate those and decrease those. But the stuff that he does is definitely outweighs the negative. You know, there's not very much negatives, but, you know, for him being able to move the puck up, get it in the forward's hands, you know, defending, he defends differently than maybe an Ekholm does. You know, he comes a little more physical, knocks guys off with his body. Evan's more using his stick and staying a step above and making those reads. So, you know, Evan's been playing really good, and has every game been great? No, every player has off games, but overall, I think he's been obviously a very good defenseman.
Just one more. You had 2 interim stints as the head coach here when I believe David Quinn had some COVID issues, and you never took his office, by the way. You always, it was still his. But just a thought on your time that you spent here, and maybe how it helped, you know, with Hartford and your journey to get to the NHL.
You know, I'm very grateful for my time with the Rangers organization. 4.5 years in Hartford, a handful of games coaching with the Rangers on an interim basis. Gallant was, you know, got to spend time with Gallant, David Quinn, Peter also. Learned a lot from all 3 of those guys, whether it's camps or just talking to. And then obviously my relationship with Kris when he was assistant general manager, the general manager of the Rangers also. Yeah, it was, you know, tough leaving the organization. I enjoyed it so much, but obviously you're never going to pass up an opportunity to be a head coach for the Edmonton Oilers. But yeah, I have nothing but positive things to say about the Rangers.
Kris, how would you evaluate where Stuart Skinner's game is at right now?
You know, I've seen him play better, but I still think it's been very solid. I think with the type of chances we're giving up and the quality, it's tough for any goalie to play at his best when as a team you're playing like that. Goaltending, like any position, but especially goaltending, you want predictability. You want consistency, and you know there's going to be breakdowns where you have to make a save that's not planned, or you know it's out of structure. It's more desperation. That happens every game, but as a team, when you're playing solid, you're minimizing those type of plays. And you know, since the break, I think we've had too many of those situations where he's had to play a little desperate, and it hasn't been as structured, and the rebounds haven't been cleared as well as they should have been. So I think our team defense can get better, but I also think he's not happy with his game also, where I'm going to say, just when I think about how he's been playing at certain stretches in his career since I've been here, been able to string together strong performances. You look at the playoffs against Dallas and the Florida series. Is he at that level? No, not quite, but I still think it's been good.
There's a lot of chatter and speculation, pertaining to his name before the deadline. He said he blocked all that out. But is there still some value in, now that it's over, he kind of knows what the situation is and that it's...
Well, there's always stuff that players, there's always noise, and you try and block it out, and whether it's at the trade deadline or what the Four Nations Team Canada roster is going to be. There's a lot of things that is noise, and as an outsider you can say, just block it out, pay no attention. What does it have? Why does it affect your play on the ice? But it's not that simple. It does affect you. But Stu, I think he's an outstanding goalie, and I think he's won us a lot of games, and he'll win us a lot more.
Can you just talk about Bouchard's partner the last few games, Jake Walman, like kind of what he's brought to the team? Maybe not offensively, you need that, but just the other parts of his game. He's been kind of physical, and just what you like about his game, and maybe the pairing also. With the guys.
Well, I think with Jake, nice addition for our team, adds a lot of speed. He's a great guy to get the puck and get it out of pressure. His mobility's as good as anybody's for a defenseman. And then adds a little more offense to our team. And, we're missing Ekholm, which is a big hole for us. He gets a lot of responsibilities. And when Ekholm gets back, our defensive pairs will probably change a little bit. So Walman coming here has played a lot of time on the right side with Darnell Nurse. Right now he's playing with Evan Bouchard on the left side. But, I think at the deadline, what we wanted was flexibility on our roster, whether it's a forward or defenseman. And I think with Walman, it's great that he gives us flexibility. Like, he can run a first-unit power play. He can be on the top PK units. 5-on-5, need a goal, he can help with that. Defensively, last minute, he can be on the ice. So, he's a good all-around player, and we can use him when we need him.
Kris, could Ekholm play as early as Thursday? Would you like to see him get a full practice?
Well, I haven't seen him. We'll see where he's at. There's a possibility he plays on Tuesday, but I definitely would think by Thursday.